It's the invasion of the bedbugs in Paris. Hello, this is Chart GPT today. So we've heard a lot of stories on the news media, underneath all the other stories going on in the world. It's the invasion of the bedbugs in Paris. I've seen a lot of photos of people throwing out their mattresses and throwing all their clothing and stuff out into the streets of Paris. And so this is kind of an interesting story. It's kind of a frightful thing, having bedbugs come up and bite you all night long. Some people think it had something to do with Paris Fashion Week, and so a lot of people came into the Paris Fashion Week, and maybe somebody brought it in, and then now they're all returning to their local areas to spread bug bites around the world. I suppose we're going to have a pandemic of bed bugs. We might have to have bed lockdowns, and who knows, somebody might well come up with an mRNA vaccine to stop bed bugs. I hope not. But anyway, that's kind of a comical thing. But bed bugs are kind of these little nasty little creatures that seem to bother a lot of people. And now they're calling it a super bed bug crisis, where some of them are beginning to be resistant to a lot of insecticides. Of course, people bring out the insecticides to try to kill them, and they're very hard to get rid of. Once you have them, they're very difficult. And of course, the increase in the UK alone has been 65%, and it's been kind of a thing where maybe it's been after COVID, people started traveling more and spreading them around more. So maybe it's a rise. It's hard to get a hard date on there. Signs that you have bed bugs: rusty or red stains, eggshells, black dots, living bed bugs. You can see them. Dirty, unwashed laundry, humidity or warmth, dark colored bedding. So you've seen these stories. You've seen pictures of them. And some of the areas that they like to hide in is in box springs, headboards, baseboards, couches, night dressers, ceilings, walls, and mattresses is probably the biggest one, where they come and reside there. And once they're in there, you have to basically throw out the mattress and box springs because they're so embedded in there. The idea of getting them all is probably irrelevant. How to prevent them? Obviously, keeping clean, remove clutter, unused furniture, keep bags away from beds, and one of the key things is the hotels. Check your hotels using mattress cover, wash your clothes often in hot water, and unpack with caution when you're moving from area to area, because that's how they get transported around. Inspect, vacuum, clean out the vacuum bag, and use good luggage. And of course, they do have anti-bed bug mattresses and box springs, so they can't enter them. So they pretty much sell those nowadays. Some home remedies: hot water, vacuum, steam cleaners, baking soda is probably one of the most common one. Evidently, it makes them dry up and go away. Some of these others are a bit harder to get the materials. Black walnut tea, tea tree oil, and all kinds of other things. You can check out the list there. Here's a little chart to show how one bed can grow into over 13,000 bed bugs in 6 months. So it may start off small, one or two here or there, and then all of a sudden, weeks go by, and before you know it, you got a huge bed bug problem. Of course, when you look at what a bed bug bite looks like, it's kind of a unique pattern. You have a little dots in a row, so they just kind of suck your blood, and they go to an inch or so, and then they go another, and they go in a line as opposed to a random pattern. So that would be interesting. Some of the countries, I guess, that are the most frequent bed bug problems, I guess India, I guess they have a lot because of the closeness and the cleanliness there. And the well-traveled countries like United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, China, and so forth. So those are kind of the key. Now, one of the things is that they say 30% of hotels have had bed bugs, but they do. Most of especially the chain hotels, they tend to have bed bug programs to continually spray for them and make sure they have insecticides. But some of the lower end hotels and even Airbnbs, they don't seem to focus on that so much. And so some of those, you have to be very careful when you're traveling around, because typically where you pick them up is in hotels and Airbnbs and from places like that. So you have to be careful. In the States, here's your typical. It's usually around the most well-traveled. The more traveled the city, the more, and of course cleanliness is the other big deal. So take a look at the AI. In terms of, are bed bug bites dangerous or not? So take that and take our online poll. Have you ever had a bug bed infestation in your home or had an experience with them? If you can, put a comment in the blog post in the description box. And don't forget to subscribe.